Hi folks, now I've got a weird knife really to show you today. I'm not really one for friction folders, and I've never really thought about them very much. I've always thought I should have a sword in the collection just because you should. I've got several detent knives, but this one here is a pure friction folder. This is the TAC-Raze, TAC-RAZE by Tops Knives, and it's an interesting piece, and I can't make up my mind about it. So I'll tell you why in the next couple of minutes. First of all, it comes with a sheath. The sheath is interesting in that you can carry it in vertical, or you can carry it in a horizontal hold. You can put the belt through it that way, or the conventional way. It's quite stiff in the holster, so it's not. I don't think it's going to fall out. Oh, and then I managed to make it fall out. I did shake it quite hard, but anyway, that's interesting. It's quite well made, I suppose, but I don't know whether I would want to carry this in an open carry, because although it's UK legal size, compared to a more conventional knife like this Manly Wasp here, it does look a bit chunky, and I'm just wondering whether having that sort of sticking out of your belt would maybe make it look a little bit threatening. Now, in actual fact, it's a lot. There's a lot less of it than you'd think. There's a lot of handle in this, and then obviously you've got that big tang on the top as well. But it's funny that when you're opening it there, it looks like it's a huge big cleaver beast. I mean, it's sort of open razor style, and there's you can see where the TAC-Raze part comes in, but it's got a recurve blade which is sharpened at the end as well, sort of almost Graham Razel styly, not quite, but you can do a bit of sort of scraping type cutting with it. You've got this nice see, I managed to cut myself again, but this wasn't with a knife, this was with a bit of cardboard, a bit of envelope when I was throwing some stuff away yesterday. No, this has a sort of razor looking blade, but it's got a recurve on it there, as I say, and this sort of chisel, almost hatchet point, I don't know what you call it really. There's some jumping on the back, odd really. I mean, I'm not sure it's necessary, and you do find that is then on the bit that would push the blade closed. Now, I don't think you're really likely to, for a number of reasons. One, because although you can hold this knife in a conventional way by the handle, I find it's more comfortable and usable if you use that front finger choil. So you got your finger below the blade, your thumb on the back of the blade, and that seems to work, and there's plenty of handle, particularly for a UK legal knife. Now, you might not believe me, it's UK legal. Might look a bit on the chunky side, but compared to the Manly Wasp, which is on the margin for UK legal, but it is UK legal, you can see it's about the same. And because the sharpened edge doesn't start till here, if you put that edge to edge with the Wasp, you can see it's actually shorter than the Wasp blade, but it kind of looks bigger. So in a way, there's a sort of optical illusion going on here, and this looks like a really big knife, but it does have just a 3-inch just a 3-inch blade. And here we are against the ruler. So if you put it to there, right to the tip of the handle, it's just north of 3 inches. But by the time you take it back to the cutting edge, you're well short. I mean 2 3/4. In terms of other things about it, it has a dark stone wash, which if you saw my leading edge knife works video, you'll see something similar. I've never been a big fan of that sort of finish, but actually I think it looks quite good on this. But it does give it, particularly with the black handles, it does give it a slightly murdery feel, murdery look. I don't know. I don't think it looks that threatening. What else is there on it? I should have said to you, showed you the markings. TAC-Raze X1269. Now it doesn't tell you what the steel is on here, but I can tell you it is 1095 carbon steel. So that finish on it is probably useful, and it will help it to not get too pick up too much patina too quickly. I'm not a big fan of patina thing. The other thing, it says pass around knife. It belongs to Al from UK Legal Knives. It came to me quite blunt. Now I don't know if that's a fault, if it went to him blunt or if he's just used it. Bear in mind it's got that big recurve on it, and also that chisel point is relatively difficult to sharpen. I mean, compared to, say, the Wasp. I mean, you can throw this into the Lansky sharpener, and it's takes a little bit of time because it's S90V steel, but it doesn't take that long. It's relatively easy to sharpen. You can't really do that with that unless you've got curved stones for doing a recurve with, which I don't, and that's sort of an extra. The way I would sharpen it is using my Lansky Turnbox, which is a rod system with diamond rods and ceramic rods, a bit like a budget version of the Spyderco Sharpmaker. That would work for the recurve, but then you'd have to freehand the tip on a flat stone. But you can do that with even just Falkniven DC4 or whatever it's called, DC5, DC4. Anyway, you could do that. Anyway, I actually quite like this. I'm surprised myself how much I like it actually. Because at first, when I first saw it, I thought that was incredibly ugly and hideously overpriced. And I still think it's hideously overpriced, considering you can pick up a sword for under 20 quid. And this is over 100, 116.95 at the moment. I just can't get my head around that for a price. I certainly wouldn't pay that for it. But if this came up for sale at 30 or 40 quid, I might well be interested in buying one, because I think it is, a nice, useful knife. But would it be my everyday carry? I don't know that it would. I suspect it looks a little bit too much for whipping out in an office, and it's sort of a bit too specialised for everyday use. Because although you can be using that bit of the point, or you can be of the blade, or you can be using the point there to open things, the long recurve is pretty much redundant for anything other than maybe cutting bits of cord or something like that. Not quite sure what else you'd use it for. Anyway. Anyway, it's an interesting piece. I'm really glad to have seen it, and I will be slightly sad to see it go away again. So, thank you very much for that. If you enjoy this stuff, please feel free to tick the like and thumbs up, And if you would like to subscribe, I'd be grateful to see that. We have the 500 giveaway. Will be, if it's not already gone, it'll be very shortly. I'm at 495 when I'm making this video, but there's a few videos in the pipeline, so this won't go out for a week or so, so I'll probably be past the 500. But my intention is to do the 500 giveaway after Christmas for many reasons, partly because I'm going to be struggling for time towards the end of this week, and then it's Christmas next week, and partly because I don't want to avoid the Christmas postage period, and partly because it's really nice to have something to look forward to after Christmas. So thank you very much, and if you haven't, if this is after Christmas, I hope you had a great Christmas. If this is before Christmas, I hope you have a great Christmas. So thank you very much. Bye.